Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I might have a guest roaming the shelves while they're still incomplete. But yeah, welcome to the new shelves. A common background, I'm sure we'll see a lot. There's still obviously a big work in progress. I will be getting my office tour soon. Once everything's complete, I honestly am surrounded by disaster on every other corner of the room that you cannot see. But today, we are finally filming the long awaited 2022 haul. Yeah, so this is the first haul of the year for me. No, this is not all of the books that I have collected over this year. I've definitely gotten more, but not too much more, and most of them would probably be classics, which I'm not including a lot of those, and book box subscriptions, which you would see in videos more often. I've kind of been on a book buying spree this summer. Like the last few months I've gone a little bit wild. So I thought we would just sit down, chat, talk about all the books that I've gotten over the last few months, and I can put them properly on my shelves. I think I'm gonna separate them a little bit from all of the books that we've thrifted, which is a lot. It's primarily how we go book shopping. A couple new releases, some just normal bookstore buys, and then some book boxes books. Okay, cool. So let's start off with the thrifted category. There's a lot. So Austin and I, my boyfriend, we primarily go to St. Vincent de Paul in Eugene to buy our books because they're inexpensive, and we can find really good things. We have quite a handful in Eugene, so we kind of just go to them whenever we're in the mood. We'll buy maybe like 10-15 books at a time, and it only costs us around $40-50, so it's a really good steal. Helps us build the collection, but also gets mostly classics because that's primarily what we shop for, and some others along the way. We mostly shop for classics, but every once in a while we'll find other genres that I'm interested in that I've been keeping my eye on. So let's just jump right into it. The most recent thrifting haul, we actually went to a different St. Vincent's than we normally go to, and I had a few books that I was really wanting. So first we have Kim by Rudyard Kipling. I actually bought this for a video idea that will be in the works, but it is definitely a long haul because it's a lot of classics, but I definitely am on the hunt for a lot of books, and this was one of them. It's very nice. I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I have the suspicion that it'll be Middle Eastern of some type, maybe India. I'm not 1000%, but I'm intrigued, excited. I don't know where to put them when I'm done reviewing. Okay, next we have The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. It's a classic. I mean, how could you go wrong? I'm super terrified of Les Miserables. I don't know French. Because that's a beast of a book. I have a specific edition that I want to get, but this is a great place to start. Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's a classic. It's my least favorite Disney movie. It's just so dark. So I'm intrigued to see what the story entails, how it holds up. Next, I got Beowulf. This was translated and has an introduction written by Burton Raphael. I couldn't tell you much about Beowulf, to be entirely honest. I know it's a play. That's about it. I'm very interested in this. I definitely want to get better at reading my classics. You might be familiar of my classic shelf out in my living room, and it's full of books I've not read. Most of them, half of them, are my boyfriend's, so I will not take full blame for that, but I definitely want to get better at reading classics. These next two I found are in such nice condition. So we've got Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. And then we also have Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters by Jane Austen and Ben H. Winters. I just saw the covers and I just needed them. I had to have them. How do you turn this away? From my understanding, I believe that these are just retellings of the story. Like oh, there's pictures? It's the story of Pride and Prejudice, but there's zombies involved. And this is Sense and Sensibility, but at sea with sea monsters. We'll find out someday, I'm sure. Next was a little bit of a different purchase, but I got World of Warcraft Chronicles of War. This is, I believe, 4 different books in one. Austin is a major WoW player, and he got me into it when we started dating. We've taken kind of a pause since our lives have been very different. We don't play as much games, but WoW is just one of those special things for us. So when I saw this, although that definitely has been well loved, I just had to have it. I'm really excited to read this someday and kind of immerse myself more into the lore of this world. World of Warcraft is such an expansive game and it just never ends. And I definitely would like to know more, but it's inspired a lot of stories, it's just paved the way in a lot of different ways. So I'm really excited to get to this eventually. Alright, next we have graphic novel. Unfortunately, as much of a graphic novel person as I am, my few and only, I don't have many, and the graphic novel section in my like local secondhand thrifted stores, not great. Not great. All of the manga is in the original language, Japanese, which I don't know. Don't have time to learn right now on top of different languages, but I did scour the little section that they had and I found Macbeth by Shakespeare in manga form, and I'm just like, I'm interested. I really enjoy the art style. It is so interesting. I'm very excited to get to this one. Alright, the next one that we've got is The Unfinished Tales by Tolkien. Unfinished stories on Middle-earth. He wasn't able to finish all of his writings before his passing. His son took over a lot of his stories and his works, but my boyfriend's a big old fan of Lord of the Rings. It's like his favorite world series, all of it. And he's not as impressed with the son's writing, but I think as a not giant fan, I can definitely enjoy Tolkien's Unfinished Tales, commentary from his son. I think I have an appreciation for this kind of stuff. So I was excited. This is such a like perfect condition too. I was like, heck yeah. And lastly, from that one thrifted trip, I got The Best Years Fantasy and Horror 9th Annual Collection, edited by Ellen Datlow and Terry Wilding. I got this because 2 authors really stood out to me, Neil Gaiman and Stephen King, and I said, oh heck yeah boy. What a nice addition. I think this is a chunk, but super well done. I'm really into anthologies and short stories. They definitely can be hit or miss with me, but overall I do enjoy them, especially discovering new authors that I might enjoy, and I think this is like the perfect way to step into these authors. I also just like this cover, the fairies, I'm into it. Alright, the next trip is kind of split up in a few trips, so I don't know how neat they'll be at this point, but I found the first book in this series. This is Splintered by A.G. Howard. This is an Alice in Wonderland reimagining, retelling. There's 3 books in the series. The covers are all so pretty, and I wanted to pick these up. Also, it's in purple font, just so you know. I was planning to pick this up. Wonderful. I was planning to pick this up last year for a challenge or video idea I had in mind, and I just never got around to it. But then I saw it at Goodwill and I said, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna get that for $4. Absolutely. So I'm very excited. I really enjoy reimaginings, retellings, so picked it up. Next, Austin Found Wool by Hugh Howey. This is a sci-fi fantasy dystopian for sure. Basically, the air outside could kill you and it's destroying everything, and we're following a guy through it all. I have not been able to pick this up. I'm still making my way through a few other sci-fi fantasy worlds, so I'm not quite ready to pick this up, but we did get it when we saw it. And it'll probably end up being a buddy read between me, our friend Austin, and my boyfriend Austin. The guest has come back. Hi, Missy. Are you gonna hang out? She's gonna chase her tail. Excuse me. Quiet on set. Okay. Next, I found a copy, a very clean... Hey. Yes, you have a tail. Please stop. I have a very nice edition of Crazy Rich Asian by Kevin Kwong. I read Last Tank Standing last year, and I wasn't a big fan of it, but it was partly, like, recommended. Like, if you like Crazy Rich Asians, you'll like this, and so I'm worried for that reason, but I'm very interested in the movie. I've heard fantastic things, so I definitely want to jump into this world. I think it's just a trilogy, but I'm hesitant. But I'm intrigued, but hesitant. Alright, next I got a copy of Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I got this for $1. This is just a nice floppy paperback. You can't go wrong. My friends, my booktube friends, just buddy read this a couple months ago, and they all pretty much enjoyed it. It's just like a classic fantasy series that everyone loves, so I'm definitely excited to read this. I have a video for this, but I won't tell you why just yet, but eventually I will get to that. Next, we've got this hardback edition of All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I was supposed to read this for June's Buzzwordathon. I didn't have a copy at the time, but now I do. So I'm definitely excited to read this. This is a World War II historical fiction that everybody loves, everybody cries. I'm really excited to get to this, but I just have not been in a historical fiction mood lately, so I'm hoping I'll start picking them up because I have quite a few now, but it's a classic. I had to. Alright, this is a thriller, potentially slightly horror, called Little Black Lies by Sandra Block. I read the back and then I looked at the Goodreads, and the reviews were pretty positive. It had a pretty high rating, so I decided to go for it. It's about a girl who, her mom was murdered, and she's daughter is now working at a psychiatric ward, and I'm not sure what the era is, so I'm not sure how like sensitive to the lingo or the language this will be. I guess we'll find out when I read it. But basically, the man who murdered her mom is a patient at where she is now working. So I'm very interested to see what this has in store. A little nervous that it might be outdated, not sensitive to what we now believe, but I can definitely separate that from a story depending on when it's written. The next thriller that I picked up was The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. Classic. I read Riley Sager's The House Across the Lake, and it's very much this trope, and so I feel like this really paved the way for that trope. This is the standout version of it, so I definitely saw it, had to pick it up. Just that simple. Alright, so I also got The Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales. I think this also has Aladdin in it. No, it has the Snow Queen and the Nightingale. Thumbelina, Emperor's New Clothes, The Ugly Duckling. There's a whole bunch. Okay, anyways, Hans Christian Andersen is like the fairy tale writer, the classics children's fairy tale. So I absolutely had to pick this up. This is the Dover Evergreen Classics edition, and I really like it. I think it's really pretty, very simple. I'm very excited to read these. And then I bought more thrillers, and I'm not sure how I feel about these. Someone explained to me, why did I buy mass market paperbacks? I don't love them, but I also kind of like them. I'm so torn on how to feel about mass markets. But we've got Final Girls by Riley Sager, and we've got The Chain by Adrian McKinty. I've heard great things about this. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews though as well. Longer than I think it needs to be for the plot, but very excited. A cycle of parents kidnapping children to save their children, but nobody ever gets harmed. It's interesting. And Riley Sager, who I've really not had a great track record with his last 2 releases. I am excited. He just announced his next release for next year. Sounds pretty Lizzie Borden. I'm excited for it. Not sure if I'll buy it. We'll see. But I don't... I'm so torn because I know that his previous works were better and everybody loves, like, Lock Every Door and the other 2. And if I find them at thrift stores, I will be gladly picking them up. But I don't know if I want to spend full $25 on his books when I just haven't loved them. Okay, we've got some more thrillers. I'm definitely expanding on my thrillers this year, or I guess for next year as well, outside of the Literally Dead book club, because it's a genre I do very much enjoy, that and horror, but I don't typically stray away from one thriller a month, which is whatever Kayla picks for the book club. So I've picked up One by One by Ruth Ware, which is apparently a very controversial book. No one seems to like it, but a lot of people love it, so I'm very interested to see where I stand. This is an author I've not read from. I do actually have her newest release. We'll get to that, but I'm excited. This is a very, like, beautiful edition hardback. Like, it's very well cared. And then I've got Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, another classic. You just kind of have to, right? Like, if you're going to get into thrillers, you should read the classics that have paved the way for so many tropes, so here we are. And the last one isn't really a thriller, but it's very psychological. It could be thrilling. It's Leave Every World Behind by Ruman Alam. I know what this is about. It's I don't know if I'd say dystopian, but it's kind of dystopian maybe. Will I read this book, feel creeped out, and then never get on social media again and just, like, walk off the face of the earth? Who knows? We will see. We'll find out. It's pretty short, which is nice. We'll see how that one goes. And then finally, for the thrifted section, I found The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is the collector's edition, so it's all gold and shiny. It is a little beat up. It's just plain white on the outside. But hello, banned book list. Yeah. So I found this copy. Haven't read this yet. It's on a TBR of mine, a secret TBR. So I will be reading it here very soon. But as all of the world's continuing to do whatever the fuck it's trying to do, this has been on many banned book lists. So now I'm definitely more excited to read it. I think this might have LGBTQ representation. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be interested to see why scared white men thought to ban this. But yeah, I'm very excited to have a copy to read. Alright, next I think we'll jump into the books that I've bought just to buy. So this first stack is familiar to my channel. If you watch my vlogs, I typically do all of my unboxings in vlogs rather than sit down hauls. I do want to get better about that because hauls just do better, but also it's an easier way for people to just see what's on your shelves. So I understand not everyone's gonna watch every vlog. That's totally fine. But Austin and I went to Powell's bookstore in Portland, Oregon. We got a few books. Did some damage. So first we have Bunny by Mona Awad. We love the flop. Yeah, this is self-explanatory. This has had such a resurgence lately. Everybody seems to love this. So I, of course, had to pick it up. I need to read this. I might do a buddy read with Daphne for when we read Bunny. I'm very excited. We'll see how that goes. I hope I love it like everybody else. Next, I got Gods of Jade in Shadow by Sylvia Marina Garcia. She's the author who wrote Mexican Gothic. She has The Daughter of Dr. Moreau come out this year. Have not read any of her works, but I'm really excited. I think she could be a favorite author. I have vibes that I think she could be that for me. We'll see. But this is her fantasy series or book. I think it's standalone. Excited either way. The title also just permits perfect to readathons and different prompts people can have, so it was kind of just like, I've been wanting to read this for a while. I don't have access to the audiobook or an ebook, so like, good to have on my shelves. Next we have Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This is just like, I've heard so many fantastic things about this fantasy. If I do not read this by the end of the year, somebody yell at me, I swear. It's not very long, it's contemplative, it makes you think, it makes you question, you don't understand anything. I need to read it. I need to read this. Next, we've got House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. I'm so excited for this one. This is honestly a 5-star prediction. This is a book I think I'm going to love. Spooky atmosphere. I hope I can get to it maybe like November or something. But yeah, I just love the vibes of like girls disappearing and coming back with powers on the hunt to find their sister. Like fantasy, mystery, love it. Next, I've got Iron Widow, Saran J. Zhao. I'm so sorry if that's wrong. Whenever I pick this up, I will properly listen to how her name is pronounced. But yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things. I think that because I still very much enjoy YA books, that I can find a lot of good in this, especially because I'm still pretty new on my reading journey, that I haven't read a lot of the tropes, and I hear this is pretty tropey, but also like, we love a badass female main character. So next we have Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have a lot of desire to read this for the longest time when it came out. People got it, I think, in a fairy loop before I signed up, and the reviews were like so-so, and I was like, yeah, I'll pass on that one probably. And then Carrie Cakes, or Carrie Can Read, read this, and she very much enjoyed it, and I said, we have similar reading tastes. Bet. And so when I saw it for a decent, reasonable price at Pals, I decided to pick it up. Next, at a recent Barnes & Noble shopping trip that I was allowed to have, which, so thankful, because my boyfriend took me shopping, and he allowed me to get House of Leaves. This is the hardback copy. We need to take a full moment for this book because I'm so excited for this. I luckily have a video idea in mind so that I can read this. Granted, it probably deserves a video all on its own. This is the twisty, turny, nobody loves it but everyone loves it type of book where the mixed media, you have to read some of the pages in a mirror. Like, I'm just so excited. Will I hate this? Maybe. But that's a risk I'm okay with. Was this expensive? Absolutely. This was $50. I've never spent, well, I didn't spend so much, but I've never spent so much money on a book, and I've never asked someone to spend so much money on a book for me. So, I'm blessed. I'm really excited. You don't even understand. I'm so excited. Next, Austin got a couple things because I forced him to. So the first thing that I got that he picked up for himself was The Man in the Iron Mask by Alexandre Dumas. This is the author of The Count of Monte Cristo, The Three Musketeers, which Austin is currently almost finished with. And this is the companion novel, I suppose. This is following one of the Musketeers in his own little side journeys, I suppose. He's loving it. He's got maybe 6 chapters left, so he'll probably be picking this up very soon. I plan to. I don't know where to start with Dumas. He's kind of intimidating, but I think with audiobooks it'll make it easier. But Classics are hard for me solely for the language barrier that I just not smart enough. And the other thing that I really forced him to get, he wasn't going to, and I was like, you need to. This is Walden, the illustrated edition, or Life in the Woods. This is by Henry David Thoreau. This is Austin's favorite book of all time. We now have like 5 editions, but this one's illustrated and it's so pretty. Like, I'm sorry, for $10 Barnes & Noble, you can't pass this up. Like, this was such a great steal. So I made him get it, and we're very happy about it, but I'm especially happy about it because I just love art, and there's just something about it that's just going to make the reading experience so much better. Alright, what I got was a little middle grade haul. I don't typically read middle grade, but I'm gonna tell the story. So I had a dream, alright? And in my dream, Austin and I went to a bookstore, and I saw Howl's Moving Castle just sitting there, and I got it. And I told Austin, I said, hey, we should go to a bookstore. I had a dream that I got a book. We should go to the bookstore. And guess what was sitting on the table? Howl's Moving Castle. It was literally destined. It's such a bizarre way to talk someone into going to a bookstore with you, but it's 1000% true. So now I have this. This is written by Diane Wayne Jones. This came after the movie, I believe, which is a Studio Ghibli film. I have plans to read this in November. I'm so excited. I don't think this will take very long because the font is very large. But I picked this up and I'm really excited. I honestly don't know what the story is about, but everyone I'm mutuals with on Bookstagram seems to absolutely love this story, so I just know I'm gonna fall right into it. It's gonna be great. And then right next to it, of course, was Kiki's Delivery Service by Iyoko Kadono. So I had to pick it up. This is much shorter than I thought it would be. Also based off a Studio Ghibli, so I had to. Oh! This is what inspired the film. This came first, guys. I didn't know that. That makes me more excited. Okay. Great. Either way, I'm very excited for this. And then after that, on the same table, I just saw Matilda by Roald Dahl. And I had to. It's illustrated. I had to. What do you want from me? I love the movie with my whole heart. It is a comfort movie for me. I watch it far too often. Austin never wants to see it with me, but I just can't help myself. I love it. Never read the book. I have to read the book. I think, like, if I ever want to watch the movie again at peace, I must read the book. And finally, no, not finally. Finally, for the middle grade section, I have Nevermore. The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I want to say there's like 5 books in this middle grade series. She's kind of chunky, I'm not gonna lie, but the font's decent size, pretty big. This is like probably the classic booktube middle grade series. Everybody seems to really enjoy it, love the characters, love the world. I know that Amari and the Night Brothers kind of like taking over maybe, but this is definitely very well loved. I'm definitely excited to read it and see what it has in store. Alright, the last 2 books that I got from Barnes & Noble. I got The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And this is a classic World War II historical fiction. I watched the movie once and I've never stopped thinking about it since. This is a book that I desperately want to read. This is also a banned book, so maybe I could do something with that, but I don't know. There's just something about this book, or the movie at least, that had a chokehold on me, and I've never forgotten it. And there's just something about World War II movies that just really, I don't know, they just bring something out of me that I really love. So I'm very excited to read this. Finally, long awaited. I've been wanting this for too long at this point. And finally, I got The Cursed Carnival and Other Calamities. I shouldn't be doing this right now. This is a bunch of short stories about like carnivals and stuff. Roshani Chomsky is in this, Rebecca Roanhorse is in this, and of course Rick Riordan. And the rest of the authors are going to be new to me, which is really exciting. Technically they're all new to me, I just am familiar with those names. But I'm very excited for this. I'm hoping to read this soon, but you know, we will see, we will see. At least maybe a couple stories. Hi! Hi. You want to be a star? Alright. What next? What next? I bought The Dead in the Dark by Courtney Golding. I almost said Courtney Summers. Sorry. I've read this. I read this last September for the for the Buzzwordathon, and I'm planning to do a reread this September. I really enjoyed the audiobook. I really enjoyed the story. I gave it 4 stars, and upon a reread I think it might be 5. Very excited. This is set in Snakebite, Oregon, so you already know I reside with it because any book that mentions Oregon, like, I'm interested 1000%. Make it fantasy, even better. This is such a good book. I'll be reading this in a vlog probably soon, so we can talk about it then, but highly recommend. And then I bought All of Us Villains. This is written by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This right here, this is my new favorite book. I love this world. I love these characters. I love everything about this. I've never read The Hunger Games, and I don't know if I even need to at this point. I will. I will at some point. But I don't know if I need to. This was so good. I literally just finished this over the weekend, and I'm recommending it to everybody. Please go read it. It's a little gruesome at times, but like it's so good. And yeah, I'm in love. I love it. I just posted my video where I read this. It's my June Buzzwordathon. Yes, it's late. We don't need to talk about it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the next section, the new releases. All of Our Demise. I got the ARC, but I didn't finish the original in time. But I now have the copy, and I'm so glad for it because I did not want to wait to read this. I'm picking this up as soon as I can fit it into my schedule. Like, no joke. I'm so ready for this. I want to know how it concludes. I want to know where it goes. I need to go let a cat in really quick. Can I let your sister in? I really appreciate these cuddles, but like, I should probably let her in, huh? Come on in. Come on. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to this. I'm gonna tab the heck out of it. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. It's great. So I love reading right now. We have The Final Gambit. This is written by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Have I read the other 2? No. But did I buy this? Yeah, I did. I pre-ordered this even. Nothing special or fancy about it. I was kind of bummed. I was like, wow. This has so much hype around it. I wanted some foil maybe. But either way, I'm excited to get to this. I don't really remember how this happened, but I was on Etsy one day and was looking at like stenciled special customed books and saw a pre-order for Brutal Hearts by Cassie Daly. And I was like, this looks cute. It's come with stickers. It's got a very heavy like 90s theme. Decided to get it. It's very big font. It's like very white, stark pages. I think this will be a pretty quick, easy read for probably October since it's kind of like spooky following a disappearance. I will let you guys know what I think about it. But yeah, decided on a whim to just pick it up. Alright, next up I pre-ordered Wild is the Witch by Rachel Griffin. How could I not? She was doing a pre-order campaign where I was able to get like this art print as well. Happiness. Absolute happiness. I also got this signed by the author. Let's see if I can find the page where it says, "For Sam, hope you have a hoot of a time reading. I will always love you." Because, you know, there's owls in the book. So I thought owl puns were the best way to get a book signed. This is my only ever book signed. And I I have so much pride enjoying it. I've already read this. I read this for my NetGalley ARC reading vlog, my first ever, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. It was super sweet, super cute. I do recommend. Next, a classic. No one's surprised. This is the talk of the internet right now. Stephanie Garber's latest, A Ballad of Never After. This is the Owl Crate edition because I really wanted it to be a little bit different from my standard black and pink one, so I thought the white and purple would kind of, you know, go nice together. Came with a bookmark and a beautiful art print. Freaking foxes on the inside. I just can't help myself. I love Stephanie Garber so much, and if I do not finish reading the Caraval series and getting to these books like early next year, the latest, I will kick and scream and throw a tantrum at myself. But I'm really excited. Next up, we've got Lightlark by Alex Astor. I was really excited for this. I talked about it in my second half of 2022 anticipated releases, and since then there's been a lot of conversation around this, so I would like to read it. I would like to talk about it. I have so many thoughts and feelings and things that I need to say, so I have the book. We're gonna read it. We're gonna talk about it. Look how beautiful with the title. Ugh. Stunning. And finally, for my pre-orders and new releases primarily, we have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Belladonna, oh, I'm so excited. Fantasy, mystery, the death, like actual death, love, romance. I'm so excited. This is her newest release, obviously. I pre-ordered this, had some weird hiccups, reordered it. Luckily, I still got the pre-order edition. Thank goodness. I'm very excited to get to this. I read all The Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping to finish. I think the next book in this is titled Foxglove, which is another poisonous plant. And she's like getting ready to turn that in for like edits and like it's gonna happen. So I think it's just a duology. Don't quote me, but I'm very, very, very excited. And it also came with this cool little like pre-order campaign that a lot of authors are doing. So Adeline Grace from the Hawthorne Estate at 1800 Lost Soul Lanes sent me a signed little, not quite a book plate or anything, but just like a little signed thing, and a beautiful art print of our characters, Death and our main girl. I'm so freaking excited. I'm ready for the vibes. I'm ready for everything that it has to offer. As you might have noticed, I've bought many books, and unfortunately there was just not enough time to read all of these books, but goodness grief do I want to read them all right now. So yeah, that's that. Next up, we've got some book of the month. I just kind of picked a couple to talk about. These are not all of them, but in August I picked up Small Angels by Lauren Owen. The woods are stirring again. This is an eerie fantasy horror, I believe. I'm intrigued, I'm excited. I don't know a whole lot about it though, to be honest. And then for September, I actually got Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. This is magical realism about a girl who goes to an island. On this island there's magic. On this magical island there's an apartment with magic. Not sure. But I'm very excited, very intrigued. It's a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be. I don't read a lot of magical realism, so I'm excited to give this a try, see if I enjoy it, where my taste might lie with magical realism. And then I have 2 add-ons as well. So first, we have Ruth Ware's The It Girl. This is her newest release. It's also September's Literally Dead book club pick, so you know, I kind of wanted it. I have high hopes for it, to be honest. Ruth Ware is kind of like the queen of mystery thriller, besides like Agatha Christie, maybe. I'm, yeah, very excited to read this soon. Oddly enough, no book of the month little stampy on the side, so it'll probably end up with my like normal books. But yeah, I'll be reading this very soon. And I also picked up for October's Literally Dead Book Club, You're Invited by Amanda Giatisa. Yeah, this is a wedding mystery thriller. We'll see how it goes. Not super excited for it, but I do enjoy participating in the live shows, so that's that. And finally, the last stack, which is not actually small at all, would be everything that I've gotten from book boxes kind of recently. So we're just gonna go through them kind of quick. I have unboxed all of these on my channel, either in a video or, well, they're obviously in a video, but either in a vlog or in like a specific unboxing video. So we'll start with the one I'm maybe most excited about, and that would be Babel by R.F. Kuang. I'm buddy reading this in September. I don't think I'm going to finish this in September, but I will be reading it, at least partly. So I'm very excited. This is historical fiction that everybody is losing their minds over, so you know, gotta be on that hype train. A little nervous because she's kind of chunky, kind of smart, but very pretty. And then next I've got The Darkling by Sunya Mara. I think this cover is so pretty. I think The Darkling is maybe a generic title, but I thought this was a different book that was older, but I don't think Fairy Loot does old releases ever, so like, who knows? Very excited though. Very pretty. Love the foil. Next I have two editions, one from Fairy Loot, one from Owl Crate, and it is Violet Made of Thorns. So I'm excited to see, hopefully I enjoy this and I can maybe keep both. I don't know. I have this weird thing of like not wanting to keep both editions, but also they're both pretty in their own special ways, and if I love it then like it doesn't matter, but also like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I have them. I also have from, I believe, an Owl Crate and an Illuma Crate, The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. This is also a highly anticipated release of the year. It is a fairy tale-esque fantasy. They have a pet corgi. They're on an adventure. I'm very, very excited for this. I'll probably end up reading this one just because it's smaller, but they're both very pretty in their own ways, so I don't know how to make a decision. Stack is getting ridiculous over here. And then finally, the last couple books I want to talk about. I got these during an Owl Crate big sale that they were doing. So I picked up, as I talked about earlier, Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. The sequel to this just came out like last month maybe. So I definitely want to get to them. I've heard nothing but fantastic things from almost every booktuber that's ever picked up middle grade. So I'm intrigued, I'm excited, I'm a little nervous because I've trusted booktube on middle grade before and I didn't love it. And I don't want to be that person that doesn't love everything, you know? Next, from Maggie Stevewater, we've got the Scorpio Races. This is the 10-year anniversary Owl Crate edition, I believe. Yeah, about horses that come out of the sea for a race and like a boy and a girl, enemies. We'll see. I'm excited, but yet a little nervous maybe. Next, we have Da Vinci's Tiger by M.L. Eliot. This is about Leonardo da Vinci and a girl that he painted. I think it's just historical fiction. I'm not sure how much of it is true, what's fictionalized of it, but I am really excited. I do enjoy Da Vinci's artwork, so I'm intrigued to see what this is about. This is just such a pretty copy too. I think this was like $3 on their website when I looked, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And finally, the last book to talk about is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I don't know what this is about at all. Not a second of a clue. But it's very pretty. And I just recently read An Enchantment of Ravens and I really enjoyed it. I liked the audiobook narration. I liked learning about Fae because it was my first Fae book. And now I have this to read hopefully soon. We'll see. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really excited. I also really want to own An Enchantment of Ravens and A Sorcery of Thorns because I do think that Margaret Rogerson is the author for me. I think I like her writing. I like her characters. I like her stories. They're not great. I'm not going to say she's like the best, but like I enjoy them. And that's all that matters with reading. So that's all of it. I haven't counted these. It'll probably be on the thumbnail or the title how many books this actually is. But the fact that this is not even all of the books that I've gotten this year is ridiculous. Like, got these this year. This is all of Adrienne Young's books. I got Heartstopper this year. I got Hotel Magnifique this year. Like, my rainbow shelves, definitely things that I got this year. Collecting books, man. That's just something I can't give up. I love buying books. I love reading books. Book collecting and book reading are very separate hobbies, and I'm okay with it, you know? Sometimes you just gotta do things for yourself. Right? But that's everything. That's it for this video. This is probably really long, way too long for a haul. I think from here on with my channel, because this is a pattern I've seemed to start, I think I'm going to start doing hauls more quarterly, maybe just like every couple of months rather than one big one once a year and then like not talk about the rest in a sit down video. But if you are interested in things as they come in, definitely check out my vlogs. I vlog weekly. They're uploaded every Thursday on my channel, so if you want to hang out with me more, see what I'm reading more actively, see what I'm buying more actively, that would be the place to start. But I'm going to try to do better at normal hauls, like a normal booktuber would. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let me know if any of these books are on your radar, if there's any you want me to read sooner rather than later to give you reviews before you go and buy. Just let me know. Glad to try and help however I can. If you guys like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you want to subscribe, I don't know when this is going up exactly, but I'm so close to hitting 100 subscribers. So if you want to like do me a solid, maybe like subscribe down below, I can get that 100 goal. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys in my next video real soon. Bye!